The year is 897 AD. Imagine a courtroom filled with noble spectators and the overwhelming stench of death. A pope's decayed corpse, dressed in full papal robes, sits upright on a throne as his successor, Pope Stephen VI, furiously accuses him of crimes. This isn't the plot of a macabre novel, it's a true story. Why would the leader of Christendom commit such a grotesque act? Was it madness, revenge, or something far more calculated? By the end of this story, you'll see how the Cadaver Synod became a symbol of the medieval church's corruption and a chilling reminder of the dangerous lengths people will go to in their thirst for power. To understand this shocking event, we need to step back into the turbulent world of 9th century Europe. This was a time when the papacy wasn't just a spiritual institution, it was a political prize, deeply entangled in the struggles of kings and emperors. The Pope's authority extended far beyond religion. He had the exclusive power to crown the Holy Roman Emperor, a title that symbolized supreme authority over Christian Europe. But the emperor's role wasn't just ceremonial. The person who held this title was seen as the protector of the church and a stabilizing force in a fractured continent. Naturally, this made it a prize worth fighting for. Pope Formosus, elected in 891 AD, became a key player in this high-stakes power struggle. Before becoming pope, Formosus had already attracted controversy. He had been accused of conspiring with foreign rulers and was excommunicated by Pope John VIII. Yet, despite this turbulent past, Formosus ascended to the papal throne. During his reign, Formosus aligned himself with Arnulf of Carinthia, a Frankish king seeking the imperial crown, against his rival, Lambert of Spoleto, an Italian noble. Formosus believed Arnulf could protect the church from the growing power of Italian nobility. In 896, Arnulf invaded Italy at Formosus's invitation, defeated Lambert, and was crowned emperor in St. Peter's Basilica, a ceremony meant to signify divine approval. But the victory was fleeting. Arnulf fell ill shortly after his coronation and retreated, leaving Formosus vulnerable to his enemies. When Formosus died later that year, his successor, Pope Stephen VI, saw an opportunity to destroy his predecessor's legacy, not just politically, but symbolically, through one of the most grotesque trials in history. Stephen VI's decision to exhume Formosus's body wasn't just a legal maneuver, it was a calculated act of humiliation. In medieval society, burial was sacred. Exhuming a body and desecrating it wasn't just an insult, it was a spiritual violation, an act that could endanger the deceased's soul. The trial took place in St. John Lateran, the papal residence and a powerful symbol of church authority. Formosus's decayed corpse was dressed in papal robes and propped on a throne, as if alive to face the charges. Stephen accused Formosus of violating canon law, specifically transferring dioceses, a rule designed to maintain order within the church. But the trial wasn't about rules or justice. It was a theatrical attempt to delegitimize Formosus's papacy and erase his support for Arnulf, thereby bolstering Lambert of Spoleto's claim to the imperial throne. The trial itself was a grotesque spectacle. A deacon, trembling with fear, was forced to act as the corpse's defender, responding to Stephen's accusations on Formosus's behalf. The outcome was predetermined. Formosus was declared guilty. His papacy was annulled, his 3 blessing fingers severed, and his remains dragged through the streets before being thrown into the Tiber River. This wasn't just a legal verdict, it was a public display of dominance. But instead of cementing Stephen's power, the trial backfired spectacularly. The Cadaver Synod horrified the people of Rome. To the public, desecrating a pope's body wasn't just cruel, it was blasphemous. The trial exposed the church's corruption and Stephen's reckless ambition, turning many against him. The outrage culminated in rebellion. Less than a year later, Stephen VI was overthrown, imprisoned, and strangled to death. His dramatic rise and fall became a cautionary tale about the destructive power of unchecked ambition. In the aftermath, the Church moved quickly to repair the damage. Pope Theodore II annulled the Cadaver Synod, restoring Formosus's honor and retrieving his body from the Tiber River. A group of sympathetic monks reburied his remains in St. Peter's Basilica, the very place Stephen had desecrated. Pope John IX issued reforms banning future trials of deceased individuals, ensuring that such a spectacle would never happen again. But the damage was lasting. The annulment of Formosus's papacy had thrown the church hierarchy into chaos. Bishops and priests ordained by Formosus faced uncertainty about their legitimacy, further eroding trust in the institution. The Cadaver Synod wasn't just a grotesque spectacle, it was a turning point that revealed the fragility of the medieval papacy. It showed how political ambition could corrupt even the holiest institutions, undermining the Church's moral authority at a time when it was supposed to provide spiritual guidance. Legend has it that Formosus's body, after being retrieved from the Tiber, became a symbol of resistance against cruelty and corruption. Quietly reburied with dignity, it served as a reminder that even in the face of desecration, faith and decency could endure. Even today, the Cadaver Synod stands as a stark warning about the dangers of mixing religion and power. It's a story that asks us to reflect on how far people will go to rewrite history, and at what cost. Was the Cadaver Synod an act of madness, a calculated political maneuver, or something in between? And what does it reveal about the dangerous intersection of faith and power? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us next time as we uncover more of history's strangest and most dramatic moments.